So far we have discussed the Pauli exclusion principle and its more generalized form of Pauli exclusion principle. Basically, when we are dealing with this more generalized Pauli exclusion principle, we have dealt with a system where a 1s orbital is um, is filled by two electrons, and this 1s2 electronic configuration is nothing but the configuration of a helium atom. So whatever the things we have learned in the more generalized Pauli exclusion principle heading, under the heading of more generalized Pauli exclusion principle, that is nothing but the electronic configuration of our helium atom, and what will be the total wave function of the helium atoms in terms of orbit spin orbital, that will be this, the first antisymmetric function. Okay, now if I take this general expression, that this 1s2 1s1 1s2 and so on, then I can write this expression in this way: 1 by root 2 1 by root 2. If I multiply these two things, that will yield me this type of things. Now this 1s1 and 1s2 are both like a same function, that is phi. That is, whatever the electron 1 is occupying 1s orbital, and whatever the electron occupied the electron 2 occupied the second 1s orbital, these are same. So this special part xyz for 1s, for both the electrons, remain same. Okay, so there is only the change in the spin function, and these spin function are alpha and beta. So this alpha beta spin function, what we can do, if we take this as a like this, if I consider this phi 1 and phi 2, this one is as phi, and electron 1 will have phi 1 and electron 2 will have phi 2 function, but these two functions must be similar because they are going to a same orbital, and the same orbital have the same spatial uh, had the same spatial function. So there is no uh, ambiguity that phi 1 is not equal to phi 2. There is always phi 1 equal to phi 2. So what will happen? I can see that if I write this alpha and beta only, that is electron 1, this is alpha spin, electron 2 beta spin. If I write this in general way, then I can have this term. So we have written this term as like this. So half of this will come twice, so it will multiplied by 2, and the things become 2 will cancel out, and then we have a 1s1 alpha 1 1s2 beta 2 minus 1s1 beta 1 1s2 alpha 2. Okay, that will be the relationship. Now this relationship can be expressed in terms of a determinant, that will be 2 into 2 determinant, and this determinant will be 1s1 alpha 1. Then second column I have 1s1 beta 1 in the first row. Along the row I have thus orbital of a electron 1, and I have to change only the value of spin for each element. Okay, for the first element it will be value of spin alpha, then second element it will be for beta. Similarly, when I goes to second row, that will be for second electron, then again the first element in the second row will be alpha, and second element of the second row will be beta spin. And this can be made again shorter, because when we have alpha, this here and here we have alpha, we will not write anything alpha. in place of beta, where we have beta, we make a bar over the orbital part. This denotes, or this bar with bar symbol denotes that this part contain a beta spin, and without bar term it's contain a alpha spin. Okay, so this type of determinant form of total wave function is known as Slater determinant. Now if I go to higher number of electrons, that is more than 2 electrons are there, then how could I represent the Slater determinant for that system? Okay, now consider a 3 electronic system. Let's say this is lithium. So this lithium will be presented as 1s2 2s1 electronic configuration. Now these 2 electrons in the 1s orbital can have alpha or beta spin among the 3 electrons. That means first, second and third electrons. That can any two of these 3 electrons can occupy a 1s orbital, and the other electron will occupy the 2s orbital. That will be one distribution. Again in the 1s orbital, these 2 electrons will have alpha beta spin. Okay, alpha beta spin or alpha alpha spin that way, or beta beta spin. Again in the third case, what is the 2s1, that may be alpha, may be beta. So alpha 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 combination, beta 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 combination, alpha beta alpha combination, or like numerous combinations are possible. So in case of this lithium, we will have a more than one Slater determinant. If I say that one of the Slater determinant can be written as psi1, that will be 1 by root 3 factorial, and this root 3 is the normalization constant. That means when you have n electron, the normalization constant will be 1 by root n factorial. Okay, now similarly I will go to the first row. The first element will be special function 1s1 alpha 1 electron. For electron 1 will be this, then 1s1 beta 1, that will be electron 1 have beta spin, in this case alpha spin beta spin. Then electron 1 will go to the third orbital. Uh, third orbital is here. Third spin orbital will be 2s1 2s, and then 2s can be occupied by electron 1, and that is alpha, having alpha spin. Similarly second electron can have alpha spin in 1s orbital, beta spin in 1s orbital. Again it can have alpha spin in 2s orbital. Similarly third electron can have 1s orbital with alpha spin, 1s orbital with beta spin, and 2s orbital with alpha spin. That is one combination. And if I go to the further case, then what I will notice that if I make these two column are constant, then if I go to the third column, then I can exchange these things. That is, I can consider that this first electron in alpha 2s1 alpha, then second electron have changed its spin 2s2 alpha beta 2, and third electron remains similar. Like this we have numerous number of combination. So for a closed shell configuration we have only one determinant, whereas for open shell configuration we have more than one Slater determinant. Now the question is, this Slater determinant, if we take the Slater determinants for antisymmetric function which are acceptable, then the antisymmetric function can yield a zero value, because in the two electronic system, if you notice that we have four combination of this in helium, these are the four combination. When I have placed both the electrons in a symmetric way, that means both the electrons have alpha spin, or both the electrons have beta spin, or both the electrons have a symmetric combination of spin, then they yield a zero a function, that is the net value of these three function are 0. So the determinant, if we form by this relationship, that will be become 0. That means that the row and column are equal. These are the things. So we are left with only two topics. One is your Slater type orbital, another is your self consistent field method.